Hey guys, just want to talk about old school performance spares and parts stores and how there's only a little few still remaining and surviving out there, slowly becoming extinct due to end of production style pushrod carb V8s and especially the nature of the world internet and online services we have today. I recently went into an old school performance spares and service store that's been operating since the mid 80s, Hume Performance Carburetors. I had them go over my blower carbs for me and also grabbed a few things too, like a bunch of gaskets and my favourite Morosso wood laminated spacers, which they had in stock, amazingly. You just don't expect that these days, but it's been so long for me since the days I used to walk in shops like this and others and do a parts order of what I need. Brought back memories, to be honest. I was in awe to see, tunnel rams in there in stock, valve covers, carburetors, air cleaner assemblies, and much more. And not to mention the badass service they provide in carb reconditioning and more. Besides this, Besides this instance, I've dealt with them in the past also. In the late 90s, I had them modify and go over my 830 Holly Annular back then for my 10-second 4V Clevo. They still bring in a lot of parts from like the common leading brands. I always remember seeing their ads on the old magazines back in the day, always advertising their shop and services. And remember that badass blown big block Chev two-door, and even have that magazine myself actually from back then. These days, it's the big players remaining, the big corporate style like Rocket Industries, which is our version of like Jegs or Summit in the US. And there's nothing wrong with that also. I mean, I've purchased so much through them in the last legs wrap up of my show rebuild in the late 2000s. And even custom ordered purchased the very first set of welds, my weld wheels, the S71s in 18s. And remember the workers there coming aside to even have a look at them when they arrived for me to pick up. It was pretty cool. Another old school
Badass.
performance
It is
parts
badass.
store near me was the Rare Spares in Beverly Hills, Sydney. Man, that was the coolest shop front in the best location on the corner, main road, King George's Road actually. Even as a young kid riding in the back seat, I just remember I couldn't wait to drive past it and just see all them dummy engines on the window front, all chromed out, tunnel rammed. Man, it was such a sight. Actually remember ordering a lot of gear from them also in the days, and even for the show blown rebuild like crank, rods, MSD, and even my blower carbs actually, and came across this post of when this Rare Spare store packed it up. So it goes to show when I actually did collect my little bits and purchase these carbs. Wow. The other main Rare Spare store is still there, operating at least, and are well renowned for their replica replacement parts and items. We had a VPW store here also back in the day. That was a little short lived, I remember, but grabbed a lot of gear from them back in my 2V headed Cleveland days. VPW is like our Rocket Industries version and are based out in Victoria. One memory I have is in the late 80s, I think, as a young kid, literally up the road and around the corner from our street, an auto accessory store opened up. There used to be a local bread milk bar shop prior. Man, I used to walk up there in there and just dawdle, roaming around, gazing at stuff with like 50 cents clenched in my hand. Would purchase things like, say, Ford keyring, chrome interior door locks for my old man's Cleveland Fairmont, and just stuff like that. It was just so cool. Bottom line is, guys, it's diminishing by the decade, it seems. These young guys nowadays, with all this EFI and turbo stuff, will never, get to experience or feel all them exciting times and stuff with being surrounded by go-fast equipment at arm's reach. There was just something about it where, you made the effort to jump in your car, drive out there and chat in person to someone, taking your order. Perhaps this was just a time that existed before the whole internet or, and online purchasing really took off, it seems. But yeah, so to be honest, a lot of performance engine building shops these days have access and accounts in directly selling go fast parts as well. Everything, is a bit all over the place now. But if you do still, have a family-run performance spares and parts store near, do support them or at least grab what you need if they're able to get it for you. It helps in keeping them going. So there you go, guys. Thought I'll share some of that with you and hope it even brought back some memories of your own, some old school memories in visiting your own local performance parts stores, back then. And remember, it's always old school cool with 69 Jenks.